Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can craft an end game toxic rain bow. So I'm not going to be showing you on how to do it on a synthesize or fractured base, because let's say for fractured base it's a bit different, and synthesize you can pretty much follow this and it will be pretty much the same. So yeah, I'll show you how to make it. So the reason why a fractured base would be different is because it locks certain things like a suffix, and we can't force certain things if our suffixes are full and stuff like that. So that's why we're not going to be using any of those special bases. But if you do follow this guide, you'll get an idea of how to craft on those bases anyway. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So first you want to craft two-handed weapon and make a bow. Now we want to go for a thicket bow for toxic rain because it has the fastest attack rate. Now if you want to go and ditch some attacks per second, go for some move speed. You can go for a McAbs bow over here, which is also very nice. And I wouldn't really recommend any other bow base, pretty much. So yeah, get a 6-link thicket bow. Make sure you quality it to at least 24%. The reason you want at least 24 is because we're going to enchant our weapon later, and it will be 8% attack speed per 1% quality, and obviously 24 is the highest we can get to because we can't get 32% quality since we're not crafting quality onto the item. And you need a minimum of eye level 82 on the bow over here. This is all you need. You don't need any higher eye level than 82. And you don't want any influence as well. So once you have your 6-link thicket bow eye level 82 at 24% quality, you are basically ready to start. So here you have two options. You can either buy a base instead of doing all this and buying like the perfect base. You can go onto the trade site and you can search for damage over time multiplier 31% to 35, and you can also type for T1 attack speed. Now when you do this search, there might be only one or two bases that are selling for about 18 to 20 exalts. Now these bases are actually worth it, so if you guys want to do that instead of gambling a little bit, it's up to you. So the other way to do it without getting really frustrated is to use an Essence of Zeal. Now Essence of Zeal gives 1% less attack speed than a T1 attack speed on an item, on a bow, sorry. So basically we roll 18%, 70 to 18%. T1 is 19%, is 17 to 19%. So it's very similar, and I think rolling it this way is very easy. So what you want to do is spam Essence of Zeal till you roll damage over time multiplier T1, which is 31 to 35%. Now the only problem with this method is that you're going to have to spend a lot of currency on essences, and not only that, you have to then get rid of the extra suffix if you roll one. Getting rid of the prefixes is pretty easy because you can just do suffixes cannot be changed and scour the item. But in our case, if we roll an extra suffix, which is very likely, we're going to have to gamble and all that. So for each time to get Essence of Zeal, attack speed and damage over time multiplier T1 is about 8 exalts worth of essences. So I did already that's in bulk essence prices. If you were to buy the essences individually, it'd be 2C cheaper per essence. So that's basically how it is. So we're gonna artificially get a bow over here. So just for the sake of saving time for the video, I'm just gonna remove this suffix and say we rolled the T1 damage over time multiplier over here. So say you have a bow like this. You also do need an empty prefix as well. So if you don't have an empty prefix, which is unlikely, but if you do have an if you don't have an empty prefix, you're gonna have to gamble and roll one of the prefixes first, or even the suffix. But even then, you still need an empty prefix, so you can do suffixes cannot be changed and then scour the item. So say you get something like this. Now obviously you can't, imprint this or anything, so you're gonna be in a bit of trouble. If you don't hit, and you're gonna have to roll Essences of Zeal again. But then again, guys, remember, at the end of the day, this is like the top tier bow that you can make, so it is worth it if you want to min-max your build, and that's pretty much it. So what you want to do is, first we want to go and craft suffixes cannot be changed over here on the bench, and once you do that, you need to scour the item over here. Okay, so now you're left with these three. Now you really want to get rid of crit chance, and you want to get attack speed and damage over time multiplier on its own. And you basically gamble and all. There's no other way to do this, right? There's no other, you know, since they removed harvest, you can't remove crit. So it's really gambly. So as you can see, it's a 1 in 3. Yeah, just get unlucky like me. So 1 in 3, that would on average cost you 24 exalts. That's why I was saying make sure you just buy the base if it's available, because it's just way better, less gambling and all of that. So once you have this, you actually want to divine your base till you hit something that's pretty good. I wouldn't really settle for anything that low. So you really want a high damage over time multiplier. As you can see, there we go, double max roll. So that took, I don't know, let's see how many divines. Quite a lot of divines, but yeah. So once you have this bow, you're in a really, really good spot, guys. This is all you really need to really push the bow to the next level. So now what you want to do is you want to go to suffixes, and you want to craft multi-mod, and you want to craft prefixes. Suffixes cannot be changed. Okay, so we craft multi-mod to block the suffixes. And the reason why, I mean, you could have done it before but you know, when we had the extra crit, you could have just done suffixes cannot be changed and do what I was going to say, but you still don't want crit later on. So you need to make sure that you get rid of the crit early so that we can, you know, use that empty suffix later. So anyway, once you have this, you want to just veil chaos orbit, and you want to hit something like this where you don't roll any other prefixes apart from 1. And that one veiled prefix needs to be chaos damage over time multiplier. Now this is actually quite common. It's not that hard to hit this. But if you fail, so let's say for example you don't hit chaos.multi, then you would just craft suffixes cannot be changed again, and then you would veil chaos it again and make sure you only have one prefix, which is the veil modifier. So that's what you need to make sure you're doing here, guys. Now I'm gonna, just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna make sure that I roll something that fails so that you guys know exactly what to do if you fail. So let's say we roll, I don't know, physical damage, chance to poison on hit, right? And we didn't hit chaos damage over time multiplier. So suffixes cannot be changed again, and then you want to veil chaos again. Now we hit this, which is really good. Veil prefix, unveil, chaos.multi. Okay, now in some cases you're going to roll an extra prefix, you know, like some weird thing like fire damage to attacks, not from the veil, just from the veil chaos orb. So what you want to do is that item is now not usable, so you have to go and craft suffixes cannot be changed again, and then veil chaos it. Sometimes you'll roll 2 prefixes, and then it will say on Craft of Exile that you can't craft suffixes cannot be changed. Now you don't always want to unveil the item. This is another thing. So I just have to do this in depth, guys, because I don't want you guys to end up wasting a lot of currency. So in the event that, say we didn't roll this, say this was something else, right, and we chaos it. This is a really good example. So we rolled a prefix over here that we really don't want, and we also have a veiled prefix. Now you don't want to unveil here. It's a waste of an unveil because we're not going to use this physical damage anyway, and the only way to get rid of the physical damage is to craft suffixes can't be changed and veil chaos it again. So you basically want to keep veil chaosing it until you hit a clean prefixes apart from the unveil. That's basically all you want. Like this is exactly what you want, and then you go unveil, and then you want to unveil chaos multi on it, right? And then if you don't, you just go again, but make sure you have to keep crafting suffixes cannot be changed each time you veil chaos it, otherwise you hard brick the item. So you need to make sure you do that, and then you go again. Okay, chaos damage over time multiplier, perfect. So once you have this, now we're in a really, really good spot. All you need to do is go to suffixes, remove the multi-mod, and then you want to go to cannot roll attack modifiers, and then you want to exalt slam the item. This will basically, you need to make sure, the reason we craft this cannot roll attack is not only to block the suffixes, but also to force slam socketed gems, because it's the only attack modifier, non-attack modifier prefix is +1 socketed gems. So that one is pretty good. Now what you want to do is go to your prefixes, and now you want to craft +2 support gems. So now you have a 5 mod bow, which is really, really good. Now this is why you wanted to remove the suffix. Now say for example you didn't remove the suffix right before, you'd still be in a big problem, because cannot roll attack modifiers is a suffix, and you really need to, you know, you really need an empty suffix 2 force slam plus 1 socketed gems, and plus 1 socketed gems is a non-negotiable stat on this bow. Anyway, so this is the ideal bow that you have. Now you could actually use this bow as it is and it'll be perfect, and if you have a synthesized base, this would be where you stop crafting the bow, because you can't exalt slam it, or you can exalt slam it, which is really gambly, but I would recommend just leaving it clean, because if you were to resell that bow, somebody would like to see that empty modifier, then rather, you know, you just slam some random thing on it. So if you don't have a synthesized base like this one over here, the best exalt you can put on it is a Redeemer's exalt. I tried all the other exalts, they're all trash for the empty prefix, so you basically don't want to use any other exalt on it apart from Redeemer. Now Redeemer guarantees onslaught or blind on hit, as you can see, onslaught, and then if we undo it, obviously you can't undo it in game, and then you get blind. Blind on hit, in my opinion, is the best thing you can get on here in terms of a Redeemer's exalt. But yeah, this is the final bow, guys. And if you're wondering, you know, why don't you just alt spam damage over time multiplier T1 and then, you know, augment T1 attack speed? Now, this would cost you like 5,000 chaos in terms of how much it would take, because you'd have to basically like imprint augment regal, because you can't augment another suffix anyway, because damage over time multiplier is a suffix. So you're basically in a spot where you're just perma augment regaling for some big gamble, because the regal can also be a prefix. So it is just a disaster, and I would not recommend doing it any other way than the essence or buying the base yourself or someone else. If you guys know how to craft or how to get T1 damage over time multiplier and T1 attack speed together, please let us know in the comments, because I've been trying to figure it out the entire time, and the easiest way is just to do the essence, in my opinion, or the cheapest way, unless you do some chaos rolling or something and get really lucky, or you do some harvest bench shenanigans or fossil, I don't know. Anyway, so that is it for this video, guys. I really hope this helped you make a really good bow for yourself. Now, this bow can be valued about, I think, from 50 to 100x. They're like all varying between there, so I don't really know. But yeah, this is how you make the double dot multi socketed gems bow with attack speed. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like these type of crafting videos, let me know. I'll try to make some more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.